The new age of social media and content and AI and all of these stuff has already come up. And I'm going to talk about it in this video because I think it'll be incredibly useful for you with starting, with building, with growing your coaching business and generating more leads. You might have seen the landscape already and what I'm about to share and what I'm about to talk about. You might have seen that people don't necessarily care so much about coaching programs anymore. They don't necessarily want your coaching program so much so because there's just a lot of them. And I'm going to kind of share this and kind of talk through it. And I think the stuff that people care about now more than ever, this is one of my big predictions, which seems to be a little bit controversial, is for the remainder of this year and especially coming into next year, people aren't going to care so much about who has the best program. They're going to care about who is the best person, who is the most trustworthy coach that I can trust with my goals in terms of helping me achieve my fitness, my uh, relationship, my mindset, my money goals, whatever the coaching program you're selling is. This is the stuff that people will inherently care about the most, more than anything. So the best thing you can ever do when it comes to building your coaching business now is document more pieces of your life, document more about who you are, who you're becoming, the stuff that makes you unique, the stuff that makes you inspirational, aspirational for the type of person you want to work with. Because the more you can do that within your content, the more you can do that within your business, the more people will just want to pay to be around you, and the more people will want to pay to actually get information and get your advice in terms of moving forward with their health, with their fitness, with their body transformation goals, whatever it might be. So look at areas of that in your life. Look at areas in your life where you can actually just genuinely help people with all of these stuff. Look at areas in your content right now and ask yourself this genuine question of like, how can you be creating more content which just gives people a bit more of a behind the curtain kind of peek and view and observation of your life, of your story, of everything you are. Because ultimately as well, if you look at a lot of these like TV shows and documentaries and movies and all of these stuff you probably look up to and admire and you find inspirational and useful, you have a character in mind that you like. You have a character in mind that you find useful, not just because of one domain, but because of his whole life, of his whole identity, of the whole way he is. I haven't watched Peaky Blinders in the whole movie, so do forgive me if I butcher the show, but I see a lot of videos in the past. Just my Instagram got flooded with the guy, the Thomas Shelby guy, and like these young kids would idolize this guy because he was calm, he was stoic, he was good with women. I imagine, I don't really watch the movie or the TV show. But do you see how it's not just one aspect of his life that people kind of build a trust and build a bind? They look at all of these aspects. They look at his health, at his relationships, his wealth. And this isn't just one example like Thomas Shelby. I'm sure like he's not a health guru or such, that character. But that's what you really should be doing with your content. You should be giving people more of a behind the scenes in a lot of different areas. You should be able to give people the behind the scenes in your stories of the stuff you believe in that might be a bit more that might not necessarily be a fitness guy. You know, if you have a fitness offer, you might not necessarily just talk about fitness anymore. You might start talking about some of your beliefs and your ideas around, or just showing how you are in other areas of your life and giving people that more of a 360 view. Because the more you can do that, the more you be building the trust into you, the more you be building that kind of human feel and factor behind everything. And as a byproduct, these are all the things that make building your coaching business, building your personal brand exponentially easier, exponentially more enjoyable, exponentially easier for you to generate the leads, generate the clients from it. Because in an age and in a world where getting information is easier than ever, we want to be able to build the relationships. What's the easiest way to build relationships is by having conversations and by giving people the whole thing, like by showcasing people the whole thing behind the curtains. And just to give you a really good example of this, I do this, and I'm trying to do this all the time on my Instagram. I'm trying to do this all the time on my email list as well, where I just showcase stuff. And like, one of my most liked stories in the last 2 years ever, even maybe ever, but for sure in the last 2 years, and it might have been the most liked story I've ever had, was the one where I went to visit my grandma and I just took a selfie where took a picture of me and my grandma, and I just said visiting my grandma. That was on my stories. 24 hours, had 24 likes, that single story. Are these all going to turn into clients? I don't think so. But is it building trust? Is it building those? Is it giving people a behind the scenes kind of view of who I am, what I believe in, and what's important to me? I would say absolutely, right? So these are all the things that I think are extremely important when it comes to starting, building, growing your coaching business as well as a byproduct. And these are the stuff I would be looking at if I was an online coach, starting or wanting to build my fitness business back up to 10 or 20K a month in 2026, going into 2027. So that's the stuff I'd be really thinking about, and that's the stuff I'd really be keeping in mind in order to grow things and really move things forward, moving forward as well. I can't really stress how important it is.